It's time for more Avengers No Surrender. This is one of the middle storylines in the actual storyline as a whole, but just in case this is your first video, the Earth has been moved to a different location because the Challenger and the Grandmaster are having a game in which they have the Lethal Legion and the Black Order attacking each other on Earth to gain game pieces. The Avengers have been put in the middle of this entire foray, but when we last left off, the Challenger's 6th piece had just entered the game board. The Hulk is risen from the dead. When we last left off, we had discovered that the Challenger in the Grandmaster's game had reached a new scale. You see, they had decided to move the planet Earth and place game pieces on Earth to allow their teams, the Black Order and the Lethal Legion, to fight for those game pieces, and the winner would have the title of the Grandmaster. They put it on Earth as the Avengers, and everything that happens on Earth would make for a great game board, as it's always going to be getting in the way. And the last thing that we left off on was that the Hulk was rising as the Challenger's last player. Over in the Avengers Auxiliary base, Miguel flies in just as Robert grabs his gun, shouting, "Jumpin' Jehoshaphat!" Miguel tells him to lay the finger off the trigger, please, it's just him. And Enigma asks if that's Miguel Santos, the Living Lightning. She follows him on Facebook! Miguel says that he just goes by Lightning now. And wait, Enigma, weren't you in stasis? Enigma says, yeah, I was. And Robert tells him that she snapped out of it once Red Wolf was lost. Hopefully, he has some good news. Miguel tells them that Rogue's team is alive, best he has to offer at the moment, and they're gonna need Voyager so that they can get a transport from the Antarctic. Tony stops him, stating that she just left, and they all thought that she was going with them, which is weird, but they have other problems to worry about at the moment. She begins to pull up images of Jarvis's hospital, and just as Miguel asks what they're looking at, Tony says the 5th doohickey just landed, and it's in the worst place. Back at the hospital, Beast and Nadia Pym watches the Wraiths are flying through the building, but Nadia looks back and says that they are losing Jarvis again. Beast tells himself that he can't hesitate. Does he help Nadia fight the alien pathogen inside of Jarvis's brain, or fight to rescue everyone else? The needs of many versus the needs of few. This isn't even a decision to think about. He yells to Nadia to fill the injector with the antidote and get ready to shrink down. He'll be right back. And as Beast tries to save a patient, one of the Wraiths grabs him and begins to fly off. Beast knows now that he can't directly fight the Wraiths, so it's time for Plan B. Eliminate the threat the only way that they know how to. Make contact with the Pyramid game piece. Beast runs back into Jarvis's room, and then Nadia tells him that she has everything ready to go. Jarvis should be fine if he injects him with. Beast stops her, telling her, no, you have to inject him. Before the two of them can even argue, though, Nadia begins to shrink Beast, stating that she can give him about 15 minutes. He has to be quick. As Nadia sets Beast down, she tells him that he is too important to the team. Besides, there are already 2 wasps. They don't need 2 of them. After dropping Beast into Jarvis's mouth, she says that she can't choose Jarvis over the team. He taught her better than that. Beast tries to shout for her to stop, and once he's gone, Nadia wipes the tears from her face, putting the helmet back on. Beast thinks she can't go. She's just a child. I've already had my time as a hero. She hasn't. But Godspeed, little one. For the short time that he's known her, there's never been anyone as smart and as full of hope, or as brave as Nadia Pym. And once Nadia is ready, she begins to fly towards the pyramid with one outstretched arm as she says goodbye. And just as her fingers touch it, something shocks her, pushing her away. She says, okay, that's not in the rulebook. Maybe I can just shrink down? And even as she tries to use her Pym particles, nothing happens. She begins to ask if she can't touch it or shrink it, what is she supposed to do? And just then, one of the Wraiths shoots towards the people in the waiting room, with Nadia quickly shrinking down and grabbing them, telling them not to panic or fight on this. She states that she knows that shrinking feels a bit odd, but she's got it under control. She then jumps out the window before the Wraith can detonate and explode, and Nadia tells herself, maybe if she says she has it under control enough, she'll actually believe it. Meanwhile, inside of Jarvis's head, Beast reaches the brain, and as he lands, he begins to witness all of Jarvis's memories. Jarvis has been through everything with the Avengers, all of the changes in the adventures. He has been there since the beginning, and that's when Beast notices something that he's looking for. The alien pathogen. The pathogen reaches out to grab Beast, and as it does, Beast drops the injector with the antidote. He tells himself that he must outsmart this, outfight it. However, as much as Beast struggles, the pathogen brings him closer and closer to its mouth. Beast says that he's sorry that he failed. And just before the pathogen can actually ingest Beast, Nadia flies through, sticking it with the antidote. She grabs Beast to take him out and he asks how. She tells him that she couldn't get to the pyramid, but she did clear the way. She cleared the way, but she couldn't just sit and wait around for Jarvis. As the two of them begin to fly out, Jarvis begins to wake up again as a heavy pulse from the pyramid is pushing away. He leans up coughing, stating that there's something terribly wrong. Someone! But before he can finish, Voyager appears telling him not to worry. Let her handle this. Beast says, thank the God that I most definitely believe in at this very moment. It's Voyager! Nadia asks, how did the team manage without her? And Jarvis says, no, that's what I've been trying to tell you. You have to listen. Jarvis grabs Beast, asking, don't you see it? You've all been tricked. Your deepest memories have been altered. There is no Voyager. Beast and Nadia stop, and Beast says, he's right. Deep inside Jarvis's mind, there was never a Voyager. Nadia then asks, how is that even possible? The memories are so vivid, and Jarvis tells them that it's all been a lie. Whoever this woman is, she is not, nor has she ever been, an Avenger. Voyager then touches the pyramid and disappears, and Nadia asks, who was it then? Beast tells her whoever it was, she stole the final pyramid, and she may have damned us all. In the Grandmaster's cosmic game room, the Grandmaster and the Challenger watch the video feed of Voyager taking the final pyramid and disappearing. Challenger says that woman, the ones that the Avengers call Voyager, she took the final pyramid and she vanished. Grandmaster tells him, yes, it's an interesting turn of events. Looks like the Hulk has no target to chase after. Challenger listens to Grandmaster's tone and asks, why do you seem so smug about the situation? You knew this was going to happen, didn't you? Grandmaster laughs, please calm yourself, old friend. Out of the elders of the universe, you of all people should know how things change so quickly. Humans are full of surprises. They make for very entertaining obstacles and useful pawns. Now let us continue to watch the game unfold, one move at a time. Back over at the Manhattan Hospital, Jarvis asks if any of this makes any sense, and Beast tells him of course it does, chillingly so. Voyager's story was alive from the start. It was as if we were all waking from a dream now. Nadia then says that her entire story is some sort of memory implant. It might be because of Jarvis's infection that those memories could not be placed into his head. Beast tells her not to worry, we will find her, and we will get the answers that we want with extreme prejudice. Meanwhile, at the Avengers Auxiliary Headquarters, Tony continues her work on getting her suit fully functional while keeping contact with the other teams. As Tony works, Enigma takes the frozen Vision and Squirrel Girl into the medical bay so that they can attempt to run more tests. In there, Quicksilver and Cannonball quickly begin to wake up from their injuries that they suffered in their last fight. However, for Quicksilver, he begins to notice something coming out of the frozen bodies. Small blue orbs floating around. But before he can wonder what they are, there's a loud static sound that fills the entire base. Robert grabs his gun shouting, "What in tarnation?" And Tony tells him it's some kind of energy disruption. The reading shows that it's just then Voyager appears with the final pyramid, and everyone notices that her skin has changed from white to blue. Everyone asks why she would bring the pyramid here and why is her skin changing colors. Voyager shouts to everyone to stay back as she takes the pyramid, slamming the door to the vault shut, locking herself inside. She thinks to herself that she needs time to rest, time to think, and figure out her next move. She sits down against the vault door, stating that not everything she said was a lie. She did do her research. There really was a Professor Arthur Vector. All she did was tie her story to his so that she would have a valid background if anyone looked. It was all a part of her plan to keep her identity secret. Everything depended on the Avengers not knowing that her real father was the Grand Master. Growing up, her father would always tell her that it's all about the honor of the game, that a Grand Master never cheats. But he has forgotten that as she is watching his moves ever since she was a little girl. Together, they would gamble on supernovas as they raced towards extinction. They won entire planets so that she could end their wars and protect them from Galactus. For him, it was all about the contest, leaving all the winnings to her. It's also true that he gave her the ability to teleport, to move through memories, and also that he would have a secret advantage in this coming game. But now it's time for her to change her position on the board. She won't be his ace in the hole any longer, so who's playing for who now? Up in the cosmic game room, Challenger laughs, stating, "Haha, it looks like Voyager didn't go very far." And Grandmaster says that it seems not a poor play on her part. Challenger tells Hulk to hurry and go after her. I wonder how the remaining Lethal Legion will fare against the Hulk. Back on Earth, Glory and Mentacle leave to try and recover from their recent losses. But before Glory can even mention an idea, something comes crashing down on top of them. As the dust settles, Mentacle tells Glory to be calm. She will reach into the beast's mind but Glory tells her that that beast has broken his spine. Mentacle tries to dig into the Hulk's mind, and as she realizes she can't, all that can be heard are her screams. A short while later at the auxiliary base, there's a loud thoom, and everyone grabs their weapons asking, now what? Tony says she'll check the cameras and hopefully it's not too serious. Everyone looks at the screen and they see the Hulk land in front of the base. Miguel says, wait, Is that the Hulk? The original Hulk? Isn't he supposed to be dead? And Tony tells him, well, he isn't now, and I'm pretty sure it's not a coincidence that Voyager locked herself away with the pyramid. We're gonna need everyone on this. Enigma will take point, and everyone else, wounded or not, you're going to be needed. Robert then asks, that includes Red Hulk, right? And Tony tells him, of course not. Your Hulk outs are getting unstable and not to mention shorter. Robert laughs, telling her, well, I alone might not be able to, but I'm pretty sure I can come up with something. Over at the auxiliary entrance, Enigma readies herself, having her suit change its density to its maximum, waiting for the Hulk to come through. After just a few bangs on the giant steel door, it falls over and Enigma rushes into attack. The Hulk brushes the punch off, and as Enigma tells him that she will be the one to defend the world against him, the Hulk reaches out, grabbing his hand along her suit, and he rips it apart. Cannonball rockets himself in, calling to the Hulk, but as the Hulk tosses Enigma's body to the side, he effortlessly knocks Cannonball out of the way. Quicksilver notices Cannonball's blast field is down, meaning whatever he hits, it's going to end up snapping his neck. So he tries to run and catch Cannonball, but the force from Hulk's smack causes Cannonball to slam into Quicksilver, breaking a few of his ribs. Miguel starts trying to charge up, stating that he'll be the one to end this. He will give him everything with his one attack. As his lightning strikes down on the Hulk watches as Miguel drains himself, doesn't even bother to attack him. That's when there's one final voice that calls out to him. And Robert says, oh yeah, you're in trouble now, you dadgummed son of a gun, because here comes the Iron Hulk. God bless America. And there you have it, the Hulk is now rampaging across the entire base, and it's time for this new weird Red Hulk to fight against him. Who's gonna win? I'm assuming you can guess, but don't forget to subscribe because next Thursday, we're gonna be continuing Avengers. No surrender!